we're back again. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking around in the train for one of those maps on the walls, right? And at first I can't find it. I'm looking around for like one of those little booklets, and because I don't even know where the our train stops at, right? Like I'm like never been on this line. I only hopped on it because like I could only see the one time for the R train. I didn't see the E train listed at all. So it's like, well, look, just start going north, and you can you can look and see if there's going to be an E train following up. Just look at the next station, and you'll see if they have if their little lighted sign has an E train listed. Mind you, I'm exhausted. I'm dead tired. I had spent the day doing a little bit of exploring. My phone was dead, unfortunately, or I'd be posting all sorts of cool pictures and videos. I went to this old abandoned Greyhound racing track, and man, it's really cool. I'm definitely gonna be going back there, so I don't want to like talk about it too much because I'd rather just like show you guys. But yeah, I'm dead tired, right? And there's some other drama and stuff going on, so it was like I'd already not slept well the night before. So yeah, I'm looking for the map because it's kind of got all the lines and all the stops on it and stuff. Which I should just take a picture of it, right? Like at least that way I have that at a minimum. There really is no good way to like have all the stops, all the stations, and then like all the schedules too. Because with it being like 10:30 at night or whatever, like I don't know when the buses and like trains when they stop, you know. I know like if you're trying to get somewhere in the middle of the day, that's one thing. But later at night, yeah, sometimes some of the lines stop, and then the game is just it's completely different. It's like trying to get anywhere is like, well, when does it come, and when's the next one gonna be here, and is it even coming? And when you add that third question of like, is it even gonna be here tonight? Like, is the next one not until 4:30 in the morning? That's when stuff starts to get like really hairy. So I have a couple of interesting conversations, I guess you could call them, on the train. I'll probably get more into those later today because one of them is I'm actually kind of the fact that I'm thinking about it later, right? Like, well, I'm thinking about I guess both the interactions I had on that train. But like one of them really stood out as like I don't want to be like it was another trans woman. She was kind of a bitch, I'm not gonna lie, and I hate to say that, but like I mean I was looking a little haggard. I had been on a motorcycle for most of that day, and I didn't have like a helmet on really, so like my hair was fucked up. I hadn't shaved since the prior morning, so I had a little scruff going, you know, and it's not like I have other clothes to change into that are like I didn't even have like a hoodie or whatever, you know, with me. So it was like, anyways, yeah, she was just kind of a bitch. She's like, oh, because you see to me, this, that, the other, and like, well, you're not really trans, and it's like, okay, it, all right, whatever you say, right? Like, and I don't really care what anyone really thinks about like anything that I think about myself, right? But it was interesting to see, like, it's like, well, I just felt like she should be able to relate just in the fact that, like, well, I mean, look, trans people get a lot of hate, period. Um, and I don't know if maybe hate's the right word, but like, sometimes it is. Sometimes it definitely is. Uh, I think bigotry is a good word as well, right? She was black as well, so it's like that was part of her identity as well. Is I mean, as who she's like, yeah, I'm a black trans woman, you know, and like I got to worry about. I'm pretty much always worried about getting murdered because like the murder rate for black trans women is higher than any other. If you looked at gender slash gender identity and like race combination, um, like the more black trans women are killed than any other gender identity race combination and all the others. So like I can see where she was, but like she made that like that was who she was, you know. There was no, and some people need that, you know, because some people just don't really have an existence outside of that, I guess. But like, see, for me, like, and maybe a little bit of the racing is just like a white privilege thing. I'm not sure, but like my race is, other than like the color of my skin, right? Um, like that's not part of my identity. You know, does that make sense? Like, because to me, it's like, well, that shouldn't. And I realize that like we live in a world where, yeah, I mean that matters to some people. But like if it outside of like a casual encounters like ad or something, right, that like that, right, like if you're writing about who you are, right, or even in like a casual encounters ad, like to just like if that takes more than 6 words to talk about like your race or whatever, like in my opinion, like it's gone too far. And again, that could be a white privilege thing or whatever. I don't know, but she's trying to tell me like, and I think, well, again, because I looked really haggard, so it was like she's telling me she's like, oh, I mean, you could just go down and get a job at 7-Eleven like real easy. Like you're still a white man in my opinion, um, and like we hadn't really, I didn't say anything about work. I think she just assumed I don't do anything for work, which is not necessarily true. I don't work in the traditional sense, but I don't clock in and clock out at a job. Like that's not me. Um, and I had a duffel bag and like a backpack with me. But like my backpack is super cute. I just got it. It's like a brand new backpack. That's clean. It's like it's got these pretty little flowers on it. Um, I guess I was probably giving like a little bit of homeless vibe, which I could do. occasionally or whatever. Yeah, definitely, because I guess the other conversation that was that stuck, right, was like another lady, and she's like, oh, you can go to the shelter over here. And I was like, oh, that's very sweet and kind of you. And I'm actually, at this point, I'm wishing I went to the shelter, because last night was fucking, I didn't even get back until here to here until like it had to have been, oh, the bus picked me up at 6:36 this morning from Ward Station, and it's a quick ride from there. So I got back here probably around 7, and I passed out. I was so tired. And I felt bad for Cheddar because it was cold. Yeah, no, anyway, so she was kind of a bitch, didn't really listen, was one of those people that was like, and she was drinking too. That was probably a lot of it, is and like, you do what you want to do, but I was just sitting on the train with my dog, just trying to get home, right? If you're gonna come over to me and like try and conversate or whatever, which is I'm cool with. I like people. I'm normally social. When I'm really tired, like, I'm probably not gonna initiate the conversation ever, like, or be very engaging. I think most people are probably like that. Like, I think if most people were exhausted, like, they're not gonna reach out, like, especially on like public transportation, just be like, oh, hey, what's up, But yeah, so she was drinking a little bit, and I feel like that was probably part of, I don't know, she just rubbed me wrong. The other lady who got on right as she got off, we had a good conversation about sobriety, and she was kind of like nodding off the whole time, and she was like, what did she say? She's like, oh yeah, you can go to the shelter, but just make sure you don't have anything with you, and because they're gonna search your bags. And so in my head, right, like, this is now the second person who's like just making assumptions, and like, people are just very judgy, and it is what it is. But I was like, look, I don't have. Oh yeah, no. And then the first girl, the first thing she says is she, sits down next to me, and starts to initiate conversation. She's like, or the first thing that I remember, right, is like, hey, like, do you have any clear? Do you have a clear plug? I'm like, no. And I don't have any with me, and I'm sorry, but my phone doesn't work. And she's like, oh, well, I have a phone. It's like, okay, well, that doesn't change the situation. I don't know now magically how to like get you drugs, right? So anyways, uh yeah, the second lady was she was she's very sweet. She was probably late 40s, maybe early, I don't know. The thing about drugs is that, like, it definitely ages you. Like, I'm only 31. My skin's all, I don't look 31 in my opinion. I look a lot older. uh Dyed kind of just like pretty red hair, not like in your face red, more of like a, I don't know, it's pretty. Anyways, uh I thought she'd been drinking at first, Because it was she was doing fentanyl or whatever. But yeah, she was kind of like nodding off, and she was telling me she had 5 days clean, and I don't think she had 5 days clean. I don't think you're still nodding off 5 days clean. But we had a good conversation about methadone, and because I used to smoke heroin when I was younger. I started when I was like 19, and I did that for a couple years, and I got on methadone, and I got cleaned up. Um, the only kind of caveat I told her was like, look, when because I pretty much like cold turkeyed methadone at one point. Like my dose got up to like 135 milligrams, which is like not a small dose, um, at all. um, and yeah, it was like I started kind of weaning down off of it, and then my family was going to go on vacation in Costa Rica, and it's like, well, we don't want to leave you. So I was able to save up like a couple Saturday doses, and my dad got some. I don't even know if they're methadone pills. I think they're apparently methadone pills, which I'm not sure is. I don't think is anything I had really heard of at the time, but we went to Costa Rica, and in that week I was able to like just kind of cold turkey it. The following 3 months, it was just like a constant, like kind of withdrawals, like low, not like not like withdrawing off dope, where it's like you're fucking like straight up dope sick, but um, just like constant body aches, pretty much all the time. Yeah, all your joints just hurt. It's miserable to exist. Um, but when I got through that, I had defeated my um, opiate addiction, which was really cool. It was a really proud moment of my life. Um, yeah, I'm still actually really proud of that moment. Uh, Back then, it was like the percentage of people that like get off opiates and stay off of opiates is like so low. It probably is still extremely low. That's the problem with opiates, right? And fentanyl. It just like, well, yeah, well, I guess a lot of people are getting off and staying off, but like for them, they're doing that via like the death route, which is like really sad. I lost a friend recently. Very recently, like I found out a couple weeks ago. Giovanni, who is really I mean, it wasn't like I didn't hang out with Gio like a lot, but like Giovanni, and I don't know, I think he went by Giovanna, right? Like he was a cross dresser, but um, he was very pretty when he was done up. Um, he's he was fun to hang out with. He's someone who I would have liked to have gotten the opportunity to spend more time with. Um, how I met him is a funny story for another day, but I got a lot of funny stories about Gio actually. Um, but yeah, no, that lady and I like she told me about the shelter and where it was, and I did find it surprising that like both these people are just like, hey, what's up? You obviously have drugs with you, and like I threw away my stuff not the day prior, but the day before that, just because like I do want to get clean, right? Like it's and I still am right now. Um, Not like super super clean right now, but it's like I'm exhausted, and like I could have done some. Cause I do have like a tiny little bit of a shot here that I didn't know about. Um, I'm just gonna get rid of it because this stuff is actually doing a pretty good job. Keep trying to get my coffee maker back from Curtis because this is why I'm so upset about my coffee maker. Is like I actually really like coffee, and I don't like the way meth makes me feel. I don't like the way it makes me think. I just don't like sleeping really. That's it. Like, or even not even necessarily like don't like sleeping. I just don't like not being able to function, and like caffeine at least helps me function. Um, I realize I'm so all over the place when I talk, but like I probably told 12 different stories in this one story, right? Um, I guess a couple of the highlights of the conversation I had with that lady were like, I was kind of more so trying to make her realize, it was like, look, opiate, because the struggle with opiates is like, that's a much bigger struggle in my opinion. Just because of like the physical withdrawal effects are like, it's not just being tired, it's not just like not being able to get out of bed. It's, well, that is part of it too, but like you get sick, you know. It's like, imagine like the worst flu you've ever had. Like it's like you're sick. It's terrible. Um, and I don't know so much about like how like the fentanyl withdrawal is, but I would assume because it's an opiate is it's the same thing, right? Like, um, so yeah, then I get to the end of the R line, and which is Peoria Station, which is actually I thought it was just kind of cool because like where I was that day, the old Greyhound racing stadium was in a town called Peoria. It's if you're on I-70 heading east. Uh, it's one exit after the Byers exit, and it's basically the only thing off the highway there. Um, you can't miss it. It's this massive fucking building. Um, and I out of curiosity started looking up like public records and stuff, and there's actually a video um, from like 2017 or 19 or something like that of someone walking through it, and it's really cool because like all the pictures and videos I could find, like all the glass is still there. I mean, it's not like a small little stadium. Apparently my dad went there in like the 80s or something like that when he was in college to watch the races. But yeah, they had probably like 1,000 stadium seats. I'm gonna go back for sure. Really cool, really cool graffiti. Yeah, it was quite an experience. It was just really windy when I was riding yesterday, and like I needed to find somewhere to like just chill for a minute, and cause I had some snacks I wanted to eat, and I wanted to take a break for a little bit. I've been riding for a while. I was getting just fucking thrown all over the highway by the wind. So yeah, I pulled off and we went into there. And I'm definitely going back just because like it was really actually kind of like I was meant to go to that place. You'll see why. Where was that? Was all that? We got to Peoria Station, Cheddar and I. And from there, I was like, okay, well, let's catch the A line over to Union Station, and hopefully there's a G line still, and then we can get to Wheat Ridge. So that's what we tried to do. Now, at this point, it's cold. I got a sleeveless dress on with like a pair of pants on too, and I didn't have a jacket. I didn't have a hoodie with me because I was kind of a dum dum and just like took off, and I throw this like long sleeve purple shirt on over my dress, and I'm straight up. I at this point I know I'm like I look like a piece of work, right? So we're on the A line. We make it to Union Station, and I walk over to where the G line would pick you up, and yeah, no, we had like just missed the last train or something, and so I'm like, okay, when's the next one? 4:30 in the morning. It's 12:30, and I'm just like, okay, so I'm not gonna sit here for 4 hours. It's way too cold. Let's go back over to the, and I'm starving. Even though I'd eaten dinner, I just like, I guess when you're readjusting to, obviously not doing dope, like which kind of suppresses your appetite, like just hungry a lot of the time. Like even right now, I'm starving. So yeah, I'm gonna figure out some food here in a minute. I don't know where my fucking food stamps card is still, which sucks. But we'll figure it out. And so yeah, I walked back over to the A line because I did have like $15 or whatever on me. I'm like, hey, are there restaurants open at the airport still? And for some dumb reason, like I wasn't really thinking that like there's only a couple of restaurants at DIA that are like outside of the terminal, and I figured that like, hey, they'll be open. It's like the couple of places where like if you were waiting for someone, and they've got the cell phone waiting lot where there's always food open there, kind of. I think, actually, don't quote me on that, but I figured that one of those places is like 24-hour, the Wendy's or something. It might not be, but yeah, I asked one of the security guards, and they didn't really know. They were just like, "Oh, look at Cheddar," I get a lot of that shit. It's like people will completely disregard like anything I'm asking them, and just talk about the dog, which is okay. It's whatever, but like, anyways, I figured there might be food open still. I didn't want to go to a gas station. I wanted like a cheeseburger. So we go catch the A line, make it out to the airport. At this time, it's now, 1 in the morning, maybe 1:10, 1:15. I'm still thinking about being called haggard and masculine, so I'm like, all right, I gotta find a bathroom, get cleaned up, shave. That's where I cut myself bad. Like, I've never cut myself so bad shaving. I'm like looking for like a gender neutral bathroom, because it's like one of those things where it's like, I'm not gonna go in the women's room and shave, and I'm also not gonna go in the men's room right now, even though it's like there's really not a lot of people around, because instead of just like walking right into the airport, I go into the Westin area. And I did find like gender neutral bathrooms, a lot of them actually, but it's kind of like right near the lobby check-in area. So like I pop in one of those, and it's not even like, and mind you, there's like 1 or 2 or 3 people up in the lobby area, and they're like all employees. Anyways, like it's not like 3 or 4 minutes before like I hear like someone like bang, like straight up bang on the door, right? And that's when like I slipped, and I fucking cut myself good. Like that shit still hurts. Hey, how long are you gonna be in the bathroom? Like, I just just give me a few minutes, please, right? Like, there's like 9 other fucking bathrooms. Like, is me being in this one like it's a problem? Or, which I do understand that like some people probably go in those bathrooms and just like fuck shit up, right? I'm like actually a civilized human being, and like I clean up after myself. And granted, the first thing I did was like I set my bags down. I got my little dog with me, right? Like he's in the corner. I'm like tearing shit out of my bags, trying to find like clean pair of underwear to put on, and like, I'm getting my hairbrush out, my toothbrush. I'm just like trying to. It's 1 something in the morning. There's no one else in here. I'm like, I just want to get cleaned up, and so yeah, I'm able to shave and like put my long sleeve on under my dress so I don't look like a total fucking weirdo. And which I still did. Uh, I'm walking around. I got my duffel bag on my back. I got a backpack on the front of me. I got this tiny little dog, in a dress, no jacket. Like, it's cold out. Um, it was a sight. It was a sight. I'm sure like there was probably at least a half dozen people throughout the rest of the course of the night that were like, I think I've seen it all now. Like one of those types of like situations. So I'm still like, how the fuck do I get over to Wheat Ridge right now? I know that I can catch a train at 4:30 in the morning, so I got a few hours for that still. I'm starving. I want to eat some food. So I'm packing up my stuff. I asked the security guy. I'm like, hey, can I plug my phone in for a few minutes or something? Thinking I'd look more presentable at that point, to where maybe they'll like have some compassion or something, and just be like, oh, look, they're just a regular person just like I am. They're just fucking going through some shit right now, right? But that was not the case. It's like, oh yeah, no, you can go inside the airport, and you can go up to the 6th floor, and you can plug your shit in there. And then is like directing me out of the, like, oh no, you gotta turn left here. You gotta, okay, go out those doors. Like, like I would have found myself out, like, no problem. Um, Again, like, I realize these people don't make the rules, you know, they just enforce them, but like not everybody like gets treated like that. That's like a special, like, we don't want you here treatment. We don't want you here even at 1 in the morning when no one is here. Um, I'm just gonna pause for a second.